Hello, Brandon Keith Avery with Just My Opinion Reviews. And I just have to say first that this series was absolutely fantastic. I loved it. So thank you so much for making it. I actually want to start eating oysters now because of it. But within this 4 episode series, there's just so much to unpack. And I can only imagine that you weren't able to fit everything in. And with all the locations that you went to with Benign in West Africa, Texas, South Carolina, everywhere, if you could please just kind of talk about which location had the best or most significant historical and emotional significance to you, and also why. And Stephen, we can start with you.
Okay, pleasure. Well, I think that, I'm reluctant to kind of try to rank historical significances for me personally. But as far as the overall experience, I think that beginning and rooting the series in Benin as it was in the book was a brilliant and correct production decision, which I can't take credit for. That's Fabi and Karis, who y'all can talk to about that. But that experience also for me had a great sense of importance in that I was in the presence of Dr. Jessica B. Harris, and Dr. J is someone who has been outsized in her influence in my career as a thinker, as a writer, and really just the whole way of tying my Black identity to our culinary history and learning about our history through our identity and using those kind of as interchangeables. So that was certainly the most memorable experience for me.
You kind of touched on it earlier, talking about the Carolina Gold Rush in South Carolina. When you were speaking with the founder of Anson Mills, Glenn Roberts, it was a question that you asked him that I was very, very happy. Just saying, hey, as a white man, how do you feel about benefiting from all of this rice production, and that the production dropped 80% after Black people were free? You asked him that he had any complicated feelings. And so I kind of wanted to ask you how you felt about that. How did you receive that information? And did you have any complicated feelings when you heard that like all of this wealth and production was stolen from Black people?
Yeah, great question. I do have complicated feelings, and I know Glenn. I've known Glenn for years, actually, prior to this production. So I should say that. And over many years, Glenn has made himself not just available, but intentionally so, and particularly with many lots of emergent Black talent in the world of food and wine. So I just want to say that first. I think his work and his reputation warrants that. But that being said, it's not possible to take in all that information about the contributions of Black folks in this industry and see a white man who is, yes, in a sense, kind of filling in those gaps for us and reviving that history. But the point is that he had the power and agency to be able to do so. And that our ancestors, who could just as well be the cultural keepers of our own history, our agricultural history, were not able to do that. And so the complication isn't in how he is going about it, or is he aligned politically and sort of ideologically? Is he in a reparative relationship with the folks that he's working with? Like, that's all possible. It can all be true. And I think that tension still exists, and that's what we were trying to show in that particular scene. And I appreciate his willingness to answer it, but I think a lot of folks, and myself included, walk away from that interaction not being completely sorted out on the matter.
Completely understand. Thank you so much.